everyone! I'm so excited to be doing this series of videos for you because this is actually my favorite thing to do, which is juicing. So today I'm going to show you guys how to actually create your very own almond nut milk at home without having to spend like a ton of money, $12, $15 in the supermarket. Right now you can actually have very delicious cold pressed milk or even your own DIY nut milk and the comfort of your very own home. So today I have with me two different appliances here. So for most people, I know that sometimes in your house you definitely have things like blenders. Some of you might have cold pressed juicers. So I'm going to show you the two differences on how you can make the same thing very easily. And all you need is just 3 simple ingredients. Can you believe it? Oh my god, it's super simple, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into it and I'm gonna show you how you can do this yourself as well. Okay, now we are going to demo the recipe for the blender first. Alright, so here goes. Come on over here. So over here, I actually have like a variety of all of my ingredients already ready, okay? Now, we have the difference for non-soaked almond, alright? So we have the non-soaked version of the almonds, which is typically smaller in size. And I also have already soaked almonds for 8 hours. So the key to doing this before everything else is that you have to soak the almonds 8 hours beforehand. So what I typically like to do is that if I know today I'm going to do almond nut milk, what I'm going to do is that I will definitely soak this in a Tupperware container with cold filtered water at least 8 hours before I start doing this the next morning. So it makes things very easy for me. Alright, so over here, as you can see, I have all the ingredients here. Just now I mentioned there's only 3 ingredients, right? So what are the 3 ingredients? Essentially, you only need almond nuts, of course, right? So almond nuts, you can actually get them raw, not baked ones. Raw ones you can buy from any dried goods store outside, alright? And when you buy the raw nuts, you don't have to wash it. There's no washing required. All you need to do is just to open up, soak it, and put it inside the refrigerator for minimum 8 hours. That's your job, which is the easiest thing to do. Then, I'm going to show you the difference between a soaked nut and a non-soaked nut. As you can see, over here, a soaked nut is actually relatively bigger in size, okay, compared to something that is not soaked at all. Alright, so we want to soak the nut so that it's softer and it will not spoil your appliance. Alright, now, if you go and put the non-soaked nuts into your appliances, it's just going to spoil. Alright, so you want to avoid that. Okay, now, I already have 1 cup, it's already measured, of soaked nuts here, right here with me. Alright, and I also have prepared 2 cups of cold filtered water. Alright, so it's inside here is already measured. Now, your job is just to ensure that you measure 1 cup of water, cold filtered water, and you just prepare it at your convenience. Now, these 2 ingredients are right here, very simple. Everybody should be able to achieve these 2 ingredients. What's the last ingredient? The last ingredient is actually what we call dates. This is an example of a medjool date, alright? You can typically buy this during the Ramadan season, okay, which we just ended. So the Ramadan season usually have very large quality, good quality kinds of medjool dates, or you can just easily get them from Cold Storage or Fair Price Finest or online as well. So what you want to do with the medjool dates is that there is a pit inside the medjool date that you want to be very careful about. So what I'm about to do right now is that I'm just going to cut open and let you guys see that there is actually a pit inside. So you can see that there's this pit, this seed in a way, is for you to throw away. All right, please remember this step. This step is very, very crucial. All right, because if you put the pit inside and it goes through your blender or your juicer, you're just going to spoil the entire thing. All right, so typically for me, I don't like stuff to be too sweet and it will not be overly sweet as well. So the due date 1 piece is just nice for 1 cup of almond milk. All right, so I'm just going to leave it right here. Now, if you guys are using a blender at home, what you need is what we call a nut bag. Okay, you can buy this nut bag or a nut sieve anywhere online, all right, on Shopee. Okay, so this is typically cost you about $2 and you need something big to actually hold the remains of the milk when you squeeze out later. All right, so we are going to go with the blender first. Okay, so what we are going to do now is that we are going to grab our blender. This is the container of the blender. All right, and what we're going to do is that we are going to put the ingredients all together here, and it's very, very simple. Okay, so I'm just going to show you over here. Now, the first step, okay, I always like to put in my nuts first. All right, so we put in our nuts. This is 1 full cup, and we will put in 2 cups of filtered water. So the key is 1 cup of nuts to 2 cups of filtered water. Just nice. All right, so what we're gonna do after this is that I am just going to put in the due date right inside here. Okay, ta-da! Very simple. All 3 ingredients, put it here, covered tightly. Okay, so make sure that it is tight, okay, because there was a time when I actually do this and I didn't cover tightly. All the milk actually came out from here. Okay, so you want to be very, very careful about this. All right, so now let's go over to the blender, okay, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, so you can use any blender, all right? Don't have to use this specific blender as well. So now it's ready, okay? All you have to do is press the start button. That's easy. So typically, I will let it blend for about 30 seconds, 30, and then I will check. So you will get this very, very nice consistency, which is just nice for your drinking in the morning, you know. So for me, there is actually fiber inside. I actually enjoy the fiber, so I don't like to sieve it out. But of course, I understand that some of you may and may not like the fiber as much as me. So it's your option, okay? This step here is totally optional. If you want to feel the fiber, you want to feel like more full after drinking it, okay? Then you don't have to do, you can just skip this step, all right? Now, so for me now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how I'm going to sieve the fiber out, all right? Now, so you have the nut milk back here, all right? And then what you're going to do is that you're just going to pour slowly. Okay. And then once you're done here, you now want to squeeze it. All right. So you can squeeze it like cow's milk. Okay. So we want to slowly squeeze. All right. Oh my God, I love this. So every time I squeeze, it feels like I'm squeezing others. Just for laughs. So you can actually slowly squeeze this, okay? And this is actually a very, very, very good activity, especially if you have like young children at home. You can actually get them to create their own nut milk. They will enjoy this part, okay? Because this part is like the most therapeutic part. And all of you, I know you're gonna ask me what's gonna happen to the pulp inside. There's almond pulp inside there, right? Okay, so we don't want to waste it because the almond pulp can also create another recipe back end. like cookies. You can even create things like, you can add them into your juices behind. All right, it's very, very yummy. Okay, so you don't throw all this pulp away. Now, this over here, this step is like super easy. Okay, all you need to do is just to keep on pressing. Press until you have no more milk or no more liquid coming out, and then you are done. All right, so I'm just going to keep on pressing right here. Okay. And typically, with 1 cup, you can get about 2 cups of milk, okay, which is just sufficient for 2 packs or for 2 different mornings if you are drinking it yourself. Okay, so we are about done. All right. So now, all this, I'm going to show you what you have just achieved. A very big bowl, 2 cups of pure DIY almond nut milk. Wow. And it smells heavenly. You will never be able to get something like this store-bought, because in the stores, they usually add a lot of other preservatives, additives, fillers, and you will never get this amount of concentrated almond nut milk that is pure. And to this is my favorite thing to drink every single morning. Wow. And I'm going to show you the pulp inside actually. Okay, so the pulp kind of look like cookies already, so you don't want to dispose them away. All right, so what you want to do is that you can actually keep them in the fridge for next time. You can create your own almond cookies, okay, with all this type of pulp. All right, and you have a very, very healthy nut cookie as well. It's DIY. All right, so I'm just going to put this another side first while I actually show you guys the next recipe of utilizing the cold press juicer to create the same nut milk that I just created earlier. So, same steps. We have 1 cup of nuts here to 2 cups of cold filtered water. Alright, so I actually have measured already. All you need to do is just to make sure that it's 2 cups so that it's easy for your usage. Alright, I always like to prepare my things in advance. And you have to prepare, same thing, your maju date. So the step about the maju date is that you want to make sure that the pit is disposed over here. Alright, and what you want to do now is that you can actually slowly put them into the juicer over here. So this is what I have, a cold press juicer. It can be any brand of cold press juicer that you have at home. Alright, so what we're going to do is that it is going to be a one spoon water, 1 spoon nut kind of thing. And the maju dates, typically I wait until the very end to actually juice it, so it's easier for me as well. So what I will do is, typically I will do this. Okay, so it's like 1 cup. Okay, slowly. Okay, and then you can pour your water, and then what we want to do is I will close it up first, and I will just press the start button, and then you just put in your maju dates inside. Very, very simple. So here's what's gonna happen. The pulp will actually automatically, filter out at the side here, while the milk is actually right now is creating on its own over here in this container. Once everything has completed the juicing process, okay, what we want to do is we want to wait for the moment of truth, which is my favorite moment. And this entire process don't even take you like 2 minutes to finish it. Alright, this is the easiest thing on earth, especially if you have a cold press juicer. Alright, now here goes. What we're gonna do is we're gonna off this and I'm gonna show you moment of truth. Now you actually have the same thing, but so much easier, right? So of course, I'm not asking you to go and buy a cold press juicer if you don't have one. A blender works just fine, just that you have to squeeze it, and now you actually have 2 different variations of how we create DIY almond nut milk, either using the blender or a cold press juicer. Remember to store this in glass bottles. Remember to store this in the fridge. And remember, all this type of DIY nut milk can only last you for maximum 48 hours. So that's all from me, and thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!